Hello, everybody. This is Kelly at KellyKinetix, and today I'm going to be interviewing one of my clients. Her name is Patti, and we're going to be talking about the 14-day Healthy Habit Challenge that we've been going through. So, Patti, I know that we've been working together for about a year now. So what's been your favorite thing about that?
So I like the dancing. I like that you have a big variety of classes, like from kickboxing, which I think we did on Boxing Day and New Year's Day, which was great. But a lot of the times what I find I need is something sort of gentle, and I like, the body resilience, and I like the belly dancing, and I like it all. So
Yeah.
I like there is a good variety of classes that you offer that are run from things as gentle as body resilience, which is just rolling out those sore points, up to kickboxing, which really kicked my butt.
Excellent. And actually, I have another question that comes out of that.
Yeah.
And that is, what is it about the classes themselves that you, not the specifics, but what is it about coming to class that you enjoy?
Kelly, I thought you were going to offer us a kickboxing class, and I was getting all excited. So anyway, what I do like about it, I like that it is laid back. I like that it's a nice, friendly group of people. I like that it's flexible, right? If I wake up in the day and I don't feel well, I just simply say, Kelly, it's not in me today. Or I think a couple weeks ago, I had a day when you were like, that's it, push-ups. I was like, Kelly, I can't. I will be sick if I do push-ups. And you're like, that's okay. I've got all these different variations you can do so that you don't have to, get down on the ground and put your head down and move up and down, which would have been way too much for me on that day, but other options. And so I like, methodology wise, I really like the approach you take where there is something there that everyone can do, even if they can't do the hardest version.
Right.
But social wise, I think that I just like the group, right? It's a nice group of women, and we're all together on a regular basis, and we're everywhere, right? Like we've got one in our body resilience class who's up in, where is she? Where's Wendy? North, right? Like she's way north where we are. So I like, I like that we can sort of have a catch up with people. I think I've said it to you before. It's really fascinating to be in a place where we can't really go outside and we can't really talk to people, but I've still made new friends through the pandemic, largely through your class.
That's pretty cool, eh? I love that.
Yeah, me too.
So as far as the challenge goes, I know that this is your second challenge that you've done with me now. So what was it that made you sign up for the second challenge? And what was it about the holiday challenge that, you wanted to get out?
So just kind of going chronologically, I signed up for the holiday challenge because, and again, it's weird this year, right? Because there weren't really Christmas parties, and there wasn't the same, sort of pressure that you normally have through the holiday season. But I do think, and I was attracted to the idea of having support for maintaining a healthy lifestyle at a time when everyone's like, oh, here's another plate of cookies and latkes and hors d'oeuvres and whatever, right? So I like the idea of having some support, and somebody sort of reinforcing me as I'm trying to say no to the deluge of Christmas goodies.
Right.
So that's why what appealed to me about the holiday challenge and why I signed up for that one. Coming out of that, I found I was really motivated to keep it up and keep going, which is why, from that holiday challenge, that's where the boot camp classes came from on Boxing Day and on New Year's Day, which I thought was amazing. But then further to that, you're gonna, like we've all been here, right? We all know what the cycle is. We overindulge through the holiday season. New Year's Day rolls around and we're like, oh my God, I can't more. And they're like, that's it. This is the year I get on top of it all. Then you start, and 2 weeks later, you're like lying on the couch because it's cold and it's miserable. And, there's COVID on top of everything else, which is just an added layer to all of the sort of winter that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
What I liked about the Healthy Habits Challenge was that it was going to pick up in the first week of February, which I find is the point at which my commitment is flagging. And so I thought, because this is when reality sets in, right? Like it is so cold outside right now, that I get my dog out for a walk, and then that's it. We're inside for pretty much the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday, I don't think I hit 5,000 steps, which is extremely unusual for me because of my dog, right? Normally I'm coming in at 12,000, 13,000. Just knowing that it's so cold, and even that it's so cold, the dog doesn't even want to be out in it. So having something again to sort of reinforce that motivation at a time of year when it's harder, I think is appealing, or that's one of the things that I found appealing, and one of the reasons why I signed up, because I thought this is going to be great. This is the point at which I need that extra support, as opposed to the first week of January, right? In the first week of January, I think it would have been overwhelming for me because there was so much happening. But it's just really great to have, again, a network of women, all of us working towards the same thing, all of us having conversations around the same things.
Right.
And more to that, what's great about the challenges is that they ask you to think about things that you might not have thought about otherwise.
Right.
So I'm at an incredibly stressful point in my career, and I'm not sleeping well. And I'm not sleeping well largely because I'm so tired. I just fall, like when I stop, I fall asleep. It's a bit like a shark. I stop moving, I'm gone.
Right.
The post that stood out for me the most of this whole challenge has been that post about, setting up proper bedtime habits and setting up proper morning habits, and just making sure that it's not like you just stopped being awake and that you just stopped being asleep in the morning, right? Making sure that you have the right habits in place so that you have a good and productive day and make the most out of your resting time as well.
Right. That's excellent. So would you say that you've answered the question about what's your favorite thing about this current challenge?
Yes, I would say that I've answered that question.
Okay.
To really reiterate, one of my favorite things is just having a group of people. And I think that the community that you've been able to put together, Kelly, is so warm and supportive. And I can't say enough good things about it.
Thank you. I've quite enjoyed this group as well. It's been pretty amazing. So what is your least favorite thing about this?
So again, life is pretty stressful for me right now. I find keeping up with the emails, you may have seen, as active in the Facebook group as I normally am, and as I normally like to be. I like to, really jump in and sort of own my participation in these challenges, and that has been challenging for me this time around.
That's a good one.
It's been harder this time around than it was in December when I had actually a little bit more time. So it's you never know what life is going to have in store for you until you actually sign up and do it. So I don't have any regrets for signing up. I wish I was able to be a little more responsive this time around.
And I mean, the good thing is you still were in the group. You were active, right?
I was lurking in the group is what I was doing. Let's call it active lurking.
I like that. Active lurking.
I'm active lurking in the group right now.
And I think the good thing from my end is that in the first challenge, there was an email almost every day, right? So, and although I gave people breaks, it was quite intense, right?
There were some days in the holiday challenge where it was like, oh my God, another email.
Yeah, yeah. So I was
And I
like,
would read it and I'd be like, oh, there's nothing to do today.
yeah,
So I do find I mean, and that's a plus and a negative, right? Like the pace of the challenge is tough because it's a challenge, right? Like it's meant to be tough. It's meant to make us sort of hurt a little bit.
yeah.
So we start to really think about these things.
Mm-hmm.
But again, this goes back to one of the other things I like about it is that you encourage active participation,
Mm-hmm.
created a challenge where actively participating in the challenge is easy, but you're not like standing behind us with a whip,
Yeah.
you know, snapping that every time someone is like a day or two behind on their post, or like, I think I'm probably 4 days behind on my post and you're still not shaming me for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that goes back to, again, that really warm and sort of happy community
Mm-hmm.
where the challenge is meant to give us what we need and it's not meant to be punitive.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah, I definitely, I'm not about all that craziness,
Yeah.
you know, it's like I want,
You haven't been here in a week.
yeah.
I would not have signed up for the second one if it was like that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just want to support people and do it in the best way possible. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's my game.
yeah, you do. You're great at it.
Thanks. So, lastly, if you had a message for people in your network as to why you recommend they do our next challenge, what would that be?
Oh, well, I first of all am very curious as to see what our next challenge is going to be.
Mhm.
Boot camp. And, I don't I'm very interested to see what the next challenge is going to be. I think that, you know, I do a lot of things for healthy living, right? I work with you, I work with a dietitian. I have an app that I use, at least one app, sometimes more than one app that I'm using regularly. So I feel like I'm fairly well informed about sort of healthy living and what's required for healthy living, but I don't always do what I know, right? Like, so one of the things that I think would be really great is just for people to sort of ask themselves, I know what healthy living is made up of, and I know what my goals are for healthy living. What do I need to get myself there? Would something like this get me there? And, you know, again, it's a short period of time. I mean, we've never done a challenge beyond 2 weeks, and I don't know what your plan for the next one is, whether it's going a month or, you know, several months, or if it's just going to stay as 2 weeks. But I mean, 2 weeks is manageable. And I think, you know, it's just one of those things that I use as a period in time for me to sort of hit the reset button and try to revamp some of my healthy habits. So not just about me, so that they become more than just knowledge points for me. They become action points.
Right.
So join the group. You'll love it.
And I love that. Thank you. And just to speak to what you just said, at the end of the challenge, just like last time, there's going to be a survey that I'm going to get everyone to do. And I think one of the questions is around, you know, if there was to be another challenge, you know, would you want it to be like a 21 day, a 3 month, a 6 month? And then also what, you know, like, is it going to be focused or what is it? I'm also still going to be running the 2 week challenge. Like that's going to be a fixture to bring people in, you know, but I want to develop further, right? So, so yeah, something to think about.
It's great. And I mean, hopefully we'll have some new people the next time we do it. And you know, it's always great just to, you know, see how people are including activity in their daily lives or how they're adjusting their meals. It's you know, you don't really know how creative people are until you see how they problem solve, right? And
Exactly. Yeah.
great things about the challenge as well is just seeing people problem solve those things. Right? We're all given the same challenge.
Yes,
Everybody does it a little differently.
exactly. And the other thing I also noticed was um, within the private Facebook group, when someone posts something, if someone's having a challenge with part of the challenge, people are giving their own suggestions, right? So,
Well, and that's it's so great that you reminded me of that because I think I was one of those people, right? So one of my SMART goals for this last challenge was to meditate every day.
mhm,
And the first time I made time to do that meditation before bed, it did not go well at all, right? Like I had assumed that it was just going to be like a matter of me laying down and just making time for it. And it really didn't go all that well at all. And yeah, to your point, there was like 5 or 6 comments from other people below who had had similar challenges with, you know, turning your brain off, just somehow getting the tension out of your body, right? Like all things. There was a lot of advice on that, and it was all really, you know, friendly and encouraging and well meant. So it was really helpful for me to sort of help put that.
that's great. Yeah. All right, so we've come to the end of our interview. Um, I'm planning for the next 14-day Healthy Habit Challenge to be, I see it starting in May. So that's going to happen. For people who've already done 1 or 2 challenges, we'll see about the possibility of getting something else going if that's what people want to move forward into. And because it's a newer program, there'll be like a pilot program, right? It won't be at full cost. It'll cost something, but it won't be at full cost. So that's the advantage of being in the challenge to begin with, is if there's a new program that pops up out of that, you get the pilot price. Woo! so yeah, that's how things are working.
That's great. I'm looking forward to that. May's a great time for another challenge.
Yeah, excellent. So I think that's it for today. Thank you very much for your time and sharing everything that you had to share with me, Patti.
Thanks for asking. I'm always glad to talk about it.
And it's always a pleasure to see your smiling face. So
Thanks, Kelly.
you're welcome. So thank you and have a great day.
You too. Bye.